What if I tell you there is a man who is believed to have murdered over 300 people, yet most of the world has never heard of him? Prepare to uncover the truth behind the most notorious serial killers in history. This video is all about the serial killers. We'll reveal the stories of terror, methods, and shocking statistics behind these criminals. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of what made them so infamously dangerous and why their stories continue to haunt us. A British general practitioner, Harold Shipman, was known as the Good Doctor in the British town of Hyde, who was always happy to make house calls to visit his elderly patients. But behind the friendly facade of a retiring family man was a monster with a secret. He found guilty of killing 15 patients, but believed to have murdered over 200, making him one of the most prolific serial killers in modern history. By the time he died in prison in January 2004, Shipman had earned himself a new nickname, the Angel of Death. His motive remains something of an enigma. While most serial killers are driven by the pursuit of sex or money, Shipman seemed to simply enjoy choosing who lived and who died. Garavito was arrested in April of 1999 and is often labeled as the worst murderer in history. Over several years, he traveled around 11 Colombian states, posing as a religious figure to earn the trust of young children. He would approach them with small offers, like food or money, and lure them away. Tragically, he later confessed to harming and killing over 140 boys, though many believe that number may be even higher. One major break in the case came in 1997, when the remains of 36 boys were discovered in a mass burial site near the Colombian city of Pereira. Authorities initially suspected a cult, but after Garavito's capture, all evidence pointed to him as the main perpetrator. He ultimately received multiple prison sentences, first 52 years, then an additional 36, after confessing to additional crimes. Even today, the story of Luis Alfredo Garavito stands as a chilling reminder of how dangerous individuals can sometimes hide in plain sight. Pedro Lopez, infamously dubbed the Monster of the Andes. Pedro Lopez was born on October 8, 1948, in Venadillo, Tolima, Colombia. He was the seventh of 13 siblings, growing up in a life of poverty. Living on the streets of Bogotá, Lopez's early years were shaped by hardship, abandonment, and constant struggle, factors that would later feed into his horrifying crimes. Starting in the late 1970s, Lopez embarked on a murderous rampage across Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. His victims were young girls, aged just 7 to 13. He lured them from streets and marketplaces, often using the chaos of crowded areas to his advantage. The scale of his crimes was staggering. Over time, he confessed to killing more than 350 young girls. This confession earned Lopez a grim mention in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most prolific substantiated modern serial killer. Despite this shocking record, many people have never even heard his name, overshadowing the true extent of his atrocities. Pedro Lopez's story remains both disturbing and mysterious. How did he slip through the cracks to claim so many lives? And why isn't his name as recognized as other, far less lethal criminals? These questions linger as a dark reminder of society's failures and the enduring danger posed by predators who operate in the shadows. Born in 1560, Elizabeth Bathory hailed from a wealthy and influential family. She married into more power, eventually ruling over vast lands in what is now Slovakia. Yet centuries later, her fame isn't just tied to nobility. It's her alleged bloodlust that makes her infamous. According to legend, Bathory murdered as many as 650 young women between 1590 and 1610. Stories claim she even bathed in their blood to preserve her youth, a narrative so sinister it inspired the iconic evil queen in Snow White. But was it all true? After being accused of these horrific crimes, Bathory and 4 loyal servants stood trial. The servants were tortured, forced into confessions, and publicly executed. As for Bathory, she was confined to her own home, Čachtij Castle, where she remained until her mysterious death in 1614. No fair trial, no chance to speak in her own defense. Over time, many have begun to question, was she really a sadistic killer, or was she a victim of power struggles and betrayal? Popkov operated near the city of Angarsk, in the Irkutsk region, from 1992 to 2007. Initially, he was convicted of killing 22 women. But later investigations revealed he murdered an additional 55 people, including 54 women and a male police officer, bringing his total known victims to at least 77. His method was terrifyingly simple. He offered late-night rides in his car, often posing as a helpful policeman. Once the women were alone with him, he would attack. At least 10 of his victims were also raped. He killed using brutal weapons like an axe or a hammer, then discarded the bodies in forests, along roadsides, or even in a local cemetery. Disturbingly, he sometimes committed these crimes while on official duty in his police vehicle. For years, Popkov eluded authorities, aided by his insider knowledge as a police officer. Finally, in 2012, investigators got a breakthrough. A DNA match tied him to the crimes, and his car was identified. The pieces fell into place, and he was captured. Throughout interrogations, Popkov claimed he was purging Angarsk of what he saw as immoral women, a twisted justification for his heinous acts. Popkov has now been handed a second life sentence for the additional murders, solidifying his place in criminal history as one of the deadliest serial killers Russia has ever seen. His horrifying story serves as a stark warning that evil can sometimes hide behind even the most trusted uniforms. Thank you for watching Facts by H&N. We covered 5 of the deadliest serial killers throughout history: Harold Shipman, Luis Garavito, Pedro Alonso Lopez, Elizabeth Bathory, and Mikhail Popkov, each leaving a dark legacy behind them.